And now, your Weather Authority forecast first, brought to you by Todd Shores McClarty Ford.
Well, so far today, it has been a warm and humid start to the day, and we will wind up with temperatures in the low to mid 80s this afternoon, feeling a little more humidity today. Eventually, that will contribute to a few just spotty showers and thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon. So not much rain later today, but our rain chances will start to increase tomorrow, and they will go way up as we head into the upcoming weekend. We'll take a look at that coming up a little bit later in the show. That's a check of your Todd Shores McClarty Ford forecast first. Local midday begins right now.
Now, from your community, local news that matters. This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Good afternoon. Thank you for choosing us as your local news source, and welcome to NBC6 Local Midday Update. I'm Fernanda Hernandez. We'll begin today with the most updated coronavirus numbers in the natural state. Arkansas currently reporting more than 4,100 total cases with 95 deaths. There are a total of 38 cases and 1 reported death in Miller County. Yesterday, Governor Asa Hutchinson announced the state is receiving remdesivir from the CDC, which has been proven to help patients who are having respiratory problems or on a ventilator. And while Hutchinson is pleased the state is receiving these resources, he says not everyone in hospitals will receive that drug.
Whenever we say we have enough for 50 patients, you've got to put that in perspective that we have 59 that are hospitalized, and some of those will not qualify for the remdesivir.
And the CARES Act Steering Committee created by Governor Asa Hutchinson to recommend the best use of federal aid during the COVID-19 pandemic will meet virtually at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And Governor Hutchinson will also hold his live briefing today at 1:30 p.m. You can watch that live on our website, arklatex-homepage.com. And Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said that he will announce next week whether bars and summer camps can open following recent moves to ease other restrictions imposed because of the coronavirus. The governor says on May 18th he will announce if bars will reopen, and on the 20th the decision for summer camps and team sports is set to be announced. Bars have been closed since March 20th, and restaurants were allowed to resume offering sit-down service on a Monday. Health officials say the true number of cases is likely higher because of many people that have not been tested. And meanwhile, the drop in gas prices and closure of Arkansas's 3 casinos has fueled the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery Fund. The amount raised in April totaled $8.3 million. That's up from last year's $8.1 million. And according to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, since 2009, the lottery has provided more than $542,000 to Arkansas students. The State Division of Higher Education forecasts that it will distribute $94.6 million in Arkansas academic challenge scholarships to more than 33,000 students in the fiscal year 2020. And in Miller County, Harvest, a regional food bank, gave away thousands of emergency food boxes to the community at a one-day drive-through pantry. Joining us now is NBC6's Sydney Simone, who's live at the Four States Fairground. Hi, Sydney.
That's right, Fernanda. Here at the Four States Fairground, about 1,000 households received a box of produce, meats, and canned goods. The food drive started around 8 a.m. this morning and wrapped up at noon. No specific documentation is needed to receive a box. There is a limit of 1 per household. Executive Director Camille Wrinkle says Harvest saw a rise and need for mobile pantry distribution over our entire 10-county area.
We're actually serving a lot of first-time recipients who never thought 3 months ago that they would be in this boat. They never thought that they would be in a food line, and here they are. When you're out of a job for several weeks, the bills start to add up, and you find yourself in need, and that's what we're here for.
Harvest gave away a total of 3,000 boxes of food, and the executive director says Harvest will host at least 1 drive-through pantry over the next few months. Live here in Texarkana, Arkansas, Sydney Simone, NBC6 News. Back to you, Fernanda.
Thank you, Sydney. And we're headed back to Louisiana now. Here are the latest coronavirus case numbers there. The total number is now at over 32,662 deaths. There are 2,315 reported deaths. And according to the Caddo Parish Coroner's Office, yesterday, Caddo's death count reached 161. Caddo saw its first death on March 24th. And Governor Edwards will hold a COVID-19 update at 2:30 p.m. You can watch that live on our website, arclatexhomepage.com. And happening right now, the Gordon McKernan injury attorneys are giving away free masks to help those in the Shreveport community remain safe. Louisiana will begin reopening this Friday, and many citizens will need masks to protect themselves against the virus. One mask recipient says the mask is a need for someone her age.
Oh, I need it. I'm going on 80 years old, so I really need it. I think that the older people should get it if nobody else gets it. I thank you so much for it.
And the firm has 2,000 masks to give away to the public for free. They are also giving away 1,000 shirts for no-show masks. The drive is still going on right now. Ends at 1 p.m. You can pick them up at the Alpha Media radio station in North Shreveport. These masks are first come, first serve. And meanwhile, Shreveport Mayor Adrian Perkins will hold a news briefing today as the city prepares to reopen Government Plaza and other city buildings to the public. During yesterday's council meeting, Perkins said plexiglass barriers will be installed in areas where city employees interact with the public. Sneeze shields will be placed around the horseshoe where council members sit, and there will be limited seating in the council chambers. Also, at yesterday's meeting, Council approved Councilman John Nicholson's emergency ordinance to suspend a provision which prohibits RVs from being used for living. While parked in a residential driveway, many frontline workers in close contact with COVID-19 patients have sought alternative places to live and sleep, like RVs, this in an effort to keep their families safe. And the council also approved rezoning land in the MLK neighborhood for a truck stop. The travel center will be built on 14 acres of land northwest of the I-220 overpass at Hillary-Huckabee. The land is in District A, and a special meeting will be held today to select an interim council member for that district. Louisiana has the second highest car insurance rates in the country, with an average annual premium of $2,300. Now, lawmakers are trying to limit damage claims in an effort to drop rates by 25%. Lessening lawsuits and payouts would force down car insurance premiums, drawing more companies to Louisiana and making the marketplace more competitive. The measures would change the rules for accessing the courts and suing over injuries. It would require use of jury trials more frequently. So lawyers have to argue cases for damages to more people than a single judge. However, judges now have raised concerns about the expense of adding more jury trials to their dockets. And in Texas, here's a look at the new coronavirus numbers. There are now 41,000 cases statewide and 1,133 deaths so far. More than 538,000 people have been tested for the virus, and more than 22,000 have recovered. And the Texas state capitol saw a series of protests yesterday focusing on how and when the state should reopen certain industries. Bar owners are calling on Governor Greg Abbott to include bars in the next reopening phase. Meanwhile, demonstrators dropped body bags outside the governor's mansion. Their message is expanding the reopening of Texas businesses is premature.
The bags represent the lives of people that are being lost, and the lives that we're going to continue to lose if our leadership, our governor, and our senators do not prioritize people over profits.
And a group of tattoo artists also congregated at the Capitol, asking the governor to add tattoo shops to the reopening list. They argue that the safety and hygiene standards they already follow should allow for a safe reopening. And we're living local, and the Louisiana Film Prize is announcing it is expanding its shooting zone from Northwest Louisiana to the entire state for the 2020 competition. This in an effort to help the state of Louisiana retain and continue its current momentum in the building of a sustainable independent film community. Any short film produced within the borders of the state and in accordance with the rules will be eligible to compete for this year's $25,000 Louisiana Film Prize. This is the largest cash prize for a short film in the world. And meanwhile, local barbershops and hair salons will be able to reopen their doors on Friday. But with that come new challenges. NBC6's Markel Sinet has those details.
On May 15th, Louisiana barbershops and hair salons can reopen for business.
I'm looking forward to seeing my clients.
The doors of Salon 90210 in Bossier City have been closed since March.
Trying to wait on unemployment, trying to make things work, you know, not knowing where your next dime is going to come from or not even knowing what's going to happen next.
What's next? Nikki Hardeman says her clients can expect some changes.
You must wear a mask.
She says sanitation stations have been added, along with client forms and screenings, and all magazines have been removed.
Because listen, COVID-19 is real, and we want to make sure that you're safe and that we're safe.
T-Mutt's Barbershop in Shreveport says their customers will also see a difference.
There's never been a time in the span of my career that I've seen something that really touched barber in the way this has.
Under Phase 1, businesses can only have 25% occupancy.
We're going to ask that everybody be patient because it's a very new system and very new process, but just know that the measures that we have in place are to make sure that everybody is safe.
Throughout the day, they'll have someone sanitizing the shop.
I just can't stress anymore, safety, safety, safety.
As all businesses adjust to a new normal.
And as always, the Keep Calm Through COVID hotline is helping you cope by providing a 24/7 counseling service. This for those who may be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or need help coping with COVID-19 related stress. This phone line puts you in contact with compassionate counselors who are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This service is available to you at no charge. You're seeing that phone number on your screen. And stick around, we have a full check of your forecast when we return. And coming up next, a new $3 trillion stimulus package has been created, but will it pass? We're going to tell you coming up next. And later, casinos are doing what they can to reopen as soon as they can, but can this closure affect tourism in Louisiana? We'll also tell you that later in the show.
And now, your weather authority, Josh Marcis, certified the most accurate forecast in the Arklatex.
Well, welcome back. It has definitely been a warm morning in most locations, and it will be a warm afternoon as well. Your highs today near normal, low to mid 80s, but we've had the south wind for about 24 hours, so humidity is a touch higher today. We'll definitely feel that over the next week or so. If you do have plans out there this afternoon, this evening, we'll likely see those temperatures cool down through the 80s and eventually into the 70s. But overall, it is going to be a pretty warm night for us, as we'll likely see lows in most locations in the mid to upper 60s. I do have about a 20% chance, just an isolated shower out there tonight. Little better chance of seeing some rain after midnight tonight. Reason for that, you can see on your Robbins Toyota Futurecast here, not much expected this afternoon, but our rain chances will generally be a little bit higher south of I-20. But what will happen tonight, there will be some strong to severe storms that pop up in West Texas. Those will scoot towards the Arklatex overnight. They'll weaken out, so we are left with a little bit of rain early tomorrow morning. That would be north of Interstate 30, so folks in Red River and McCurtain County could see some rain early tomorrow. Otherwise, what will happen tomorrow, the thunderstorms will let out some cool air as they die off, and as we start to warm up in the afternoon, we'll have some of these remnant, what are called cool air outflow boundaries across the region. That will interact with some of the warm air in place, and you can see some of the scattered showers and thunderstorms that will likely pop up as we continue through the afternoon. So rain chances will start to go way up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll show you Futurecast here, picking it up Friday morning. We do have an area of low pressure that's going to begin to develop here in central Texas, and it will just kind of park there. If you're on the east side of this storm, which we will be, we're on the business end, so that will be scooping in some rain off the Gulf of Mexico and sending it into the Arklatex. So what will happen is we'll see some repeated rounds of showers and thunderstorms. The way it looks now, severe weather threat is very low for us, but these storms will create some lightning. You saw Saturday, this is us rolling into Sunday, and it looks like that rain is going to continue potentially into Monday of next week before we start to taper the rain a bit as we go into the middle of next week. Rainfall totals here, this is usually a setup that does bring us some heavy rain. You can see south of I-20, this would be between now and Monday night. We could see some 2 to 3 inch accumulation south of I-20, generally lighter amounts the further north that you go here, but there's the potential we may have to up some of these totals. If we saw 2 to 3 inches of rain, wouldn't cause us any issues, but if we did see some higher amounts, we could see some localized flooding issues maybe late in the weekend, early next week. But as of right now, we are really not expecting that. Temperatures will stay in the low to mid 80s, and again, your highest rain chances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So dig out that umbrella, keep it with you for the next few days. That's a check of your forecast. Let's send it back over to Fernanda.
Thank you, Josh. And in your national headlines, the COVID crisis in America has sparked House Democrats to unveil their largest relief bill in history. Karen Kaifa has the latest from Washington.
What Nancy Pelosi is proposing will never pass the Senate.
A warning from Senate Republicans to House Democrats on their next proposed coronavirus stimulus bill. The price tag, more than $3 trillion, making it the largest relief package in history.
It's got so much unrelated to coronavirus, it is dead on arrival here.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi jabbed back, saying time is of the essence.
But the families who are suffering know that hunger doesn't take a pause, the rent doesn't take a pause, the bills don't take a pause, the hardship of losing a job or tragically losing a loved one doesn't take a pause.
Now, facing an outbreak in the White House, Vice President Pence is distancing himself from President Trump.
The Vice President has made the choice to keep his distance for a few days, and I would just note that that's his personal decision to make that.
Across the country, in the nation's largest county, Los Angeles, stay-at-home orders are expected to be extended through July with a gradual easing of restrictions.
Our hope always is that we're able, by using the data, to be able to lift restrictions slowly over the next 3 months.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Well, stay with us. Your consumer news are next, and grocery prices have soared amid the pandemic. We'll tell you which items saw that price hike when we return.
This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Welcome back. Topping your consumer news this afternoon. Certain foods aren't just getting harder to find at grocery stores, they're also putting a bigger dent in your wallet. Grocery store prices surged last month and those increases are unprecedented. According to the Labor Department, the prices of staples like eggs, meats, and cereals recorded their highest increases in 46 years. Eggs seeing the biggest hike, up 16%, but all 6 major grocery food categories are up at least 1.5%. And the U.S. stock market stands 4% higher compared to a year ago. That's despite the record unemployment unleashed by the coronavirus pandemic. Now is the most expensive time to buy stocks in 20 years. The S&P is up 31% since March 23rd, and the S&P 500 now trades at 22.5 times projected earnings. Some experts warn this could set a major setback in the stock market. And the first phase of reopening businesses in Louisiana begins Friday, but casinos and video poker establishments will have to wait till at least Monday. Governor Edwards is expected to sign his Phase 1 proclamation Thursday, and state gaming officials say casinos and video poker establishments will need to have their reopening plans approved by state police before reopening.
I don't think that any of the casinos could reasonably have opened this coming Friday, and I've had no complaints from the industry that they're lagging behind several days of barbershops and restaurants and gyms.
And there are several steps the local casinos need to take before they're able to reopen. Casinos are only one of the reasons more than 53 million people traveled to Louisiana last year. Tourism brought in nearly $19 million in 2019, and this year the industry is at a standstill. As a way to jumpstart the economy, Lieutenant Governor Nungesser is reopening state parks on Friday. During Phase 1, visitors will be limited to Louisiana residents, and Nungesser encourages everyone to enjoy a staycation.
Our best marketing tool is Louisianans. They're going to take some pictures, they're going to catch some fish at a state park, they're going to eat some incredible food, listen to some great musicians, and they'll share that with their friends and family.
And the Lieutenant Governor's office is also offering special deals for groups, bookings, events from out of state. And coming up next, we're telling you how you can eat fair food in the middle of May right here locally. But first, we're taking a look outside with our Louisiana Tower Cam. You may need to get your umbrella ready. Josh tells us when to expect that rain coming up next.
This is NBC6 News Local Midday Update.
Welcome back. Are you getting tired of your quarantine diet? Well, you're in luck because starting tomorrow, you can enjoy some of your favorite fair foods. You'll be able to get a corn dog or maybe even some deep fried Oreos, all packaged for takeout. You can even enjoy that funnel cake in the outdoor seating area. Officials say you'll need to enter the fairgrounds from Hearn Avenue, where there will be free parking and free admission. This will take place this Thursday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we wrap up your local midday with some great news. Princeton has named its first black valedictorian in the university's 274-year history. This is Nicholas Johnson, a Canadian student majoring in operations research and financial engineering, and now he is a valedictorian of the class of 2020. Johnson says the honor is empowering because of the university's historical ties to slavery. Johnson has an internship over the summer, and then he begins his PhD at MIT in the fall. He'll be studying operations research, and on that terrific note, we're sending it back to Josh for one final look at our forecast.
Well, a final check of your weather forecast here, which will continue to run warm for the next 7 days or so, and your rain chances will increase tomorrow. We could see some spotty rain out there a little bit later today, but a little higher, or at least an uptick in the rain expected tomorrow, and especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Won't be a washout, but indoor plans looking a little bit better for all of us this weekend, as we will see a few periods of showers and storms out there. Pattern will let up somewhat next week, but even the middle of next week, we're looking at slight to scattered rain chances across the region.
Thank you, Josh, and that wraps up your local midday update. We're going to see you back here at 12:30 tomorrow. Have a great one and stay safe.
Meet courageous men and women who risk it all so you and your family can stay safe. Watch Salute the Badge tonight on NBC6 News at 10.